my name is Samantha Fuentes. I'm a 19-year-old gun violence prevention activist. You know, much like people my own age, I was desensitized to the tragedy and the hardships that have surrounded my entire life until I was unfortunately impacted by gun violence directly. It was Valentine's Day, and it was the last period of class. And suddenly, from behind me, I hear 2 gunshots in the hallway. And within seconds, this little classroom turned into a war zone. I ran to the back of the room and was tangled in a bunch of desks, so I threw myself onto the ground, and at that point he had shoved the barrel of his gun through the door window and started spraying across the room. I made it to the barricade of filing cabinets and podiums and laptop carts. I put myself behind that podium, much like this wooden one, and I screamed and I screamed and I screamed like I've never screamed my entire life. And in a moment, I thought it was all over. I couldn't hear anything, it was just replaced with ringing. My vision went white, and there was just nothingness for what felt like forever. And then it was over. And it was like a scene out of Saving Private Ryan. Everyone was doing something. People were making phone calls. People were getting blood off of themselves. People were assessing the situation. There was people hyperventilating. There was people trying to make light of the situation. Other people telling each other to be quiet because he might come back and finish the job. Except for 2 students who were doing nothing. Helena had been shot in the chest. Nick had been shot in the head. 2 people that I became quite fond of in my high school career. But it wasn't until then, and only then, did I realize I myself was injured. I looked down at my legs. My pants had holes in them all over. They're all oozing with blood. Something straight out of a horror movie, but it was my life. And I had blood streaming down my face, all down my chest. My eye was 3 times its original size. I had bits of hot metal in my face. I had a huge hole just above my left knee, a bunch of little tiny holes from what I would later find out was shrapnel. And that was the moment that changed my entire life. Ever since that day, my whole life has revolved around this one moment. There's never a day it doesn't pass my mind. And I suppose all of this anger and outrage and disappointment and just complete and utter insanity, I knew that I had to do something. I knew that I didn't want what happened to me, what happened to Nick, what happened to Helena, what happened to those 17 people that day. I never wanted that to happen to anybody. And so that's when I became an activist, I suppose. And ever since then, I've been sharing my story and encouraging other survivors to tell their story and educating people on how to get involved with preventing gun violence. And I suppose my shining moment was March 24th, 2018, where I spoke in front of 500,000 people in Washington, D.C., barfed on stage, which I'm not gonna, replicate for that degree today. And I just remember looking into that sea of people and thinking, that's hope. That's what hope looks like. That these are the people who've shown up from all over the country for a movement, for a cause. And I suppose that's when I really decided that I wanted to dedicate my life and my time to help to promote change and progress in this country for the better. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.